Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Akmal Mukti Abbad with study number K1324019. In this session, we want to review ratio, ratio and proportion. So, let's begin the lesson today by thinking, what is ratio? So, what is ratio in math? It's basically just a comparison of two quantities. So, how much of one thing there is compared to how much of another there is. So, if we had something like apples and melons, we could compare the number of apples we have to the number of melons that we have. So, okay, we can use the ratio to do that. So, if I said, what is ratio of apple to melons? What's your answer? So, what is the ratio of apples to melons? Okay, and when we work with ratio, you're gonna see this keyword to a lot. So, essentially, what I want to do, I want to count the number of apples that I have. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 apples, and then I want to count the number of melon. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 melon. So if I want the ratio of apple to melon, all I need to do, since I said apple first, just gonna basically put the number of 4, which is number of apple I have. And then since I have melon last, I just gonna put the number of melon, which is 8. So the ratio of apple to melon is 4 to 8. Okay, now I can simplify that. It means something to say I have 4 to 8, but it means even more. If I simplify that and say, well, between 4 and 8, the greatest common factor there are the greatest common divisor, you could say will be 4. So if I divide 4 by 4, I will get 1. If I divide 8 by 4, I will get 2. So now I have something that has some meaning. If I send the ratio of apples to melon was 1 to 2, and then you could start to think in your head, if you didn't have a picture, then I have 1 apple for every 2 melons. Okay, so it becomes kind of clear what the relationship is between apples and melons. Alright, let's take a look at a very simple example. So for this first question here, we thought that the ratio of boys to girls in the school is 11 to 10, whereas total that there are 525 students in the school. But the main question here is how many students are boys? So there are a few different ways we could go through this question. And one way would be to take this ratio of 11 to 10. And remember, we're comparing boys to girls, and one little trick we could use is to multiply each of these terms by x. So we could also say this is the ratio of 11x to 10x, because if there are 525 students in the school, if we just did 11 plus 10, 21 students, that's not enough. So by multiplying by x, this allows us to set up the equation that there are 11x plus 10x students in total, because there are 11x boys and 10x girls, and remember there are 525 students in school. So then we just simplify here, we get 21x equals 525. And when you solve for x divided by 21 on both sides, it is going to simplify. We're going to have x equals and 525 divided by 21 is going to give us 25. So x equals 25. So then how many boys are in the school? Well, the number of boys is 11 times 25, and this is going to work out to 275. So there are 275 boys. That's our final answer. And the number of girls, which isn't what we're taught to find here, but it's good. So we can check our word that we find this as well. It's 10 times x, which is 10 times 25, giving us 250 50. And now just to check when we add these numbers together, we still get 525. So 275 plus 270, this is 5 up to 525. And another thing to check here is to compare these two numbers by division. Divide the top and bottom by 25. And this does simplify to 11 over 10. So but after this thing here, check out 275 is our solution to the first one. So an alternative method that we could use would be to use the concept of part over whole. And just now is and now if we're trying to find the number of boys, the number of boys reveal that 11 is the part. So remember the concept we're using is part of our whole. And when we use the concept here, the part is 11 and the whole would be 11 plus 10. So for every 21 students, 11 are boys because we taught 11 boys. For every 10 girls, that 21 students in the total. So out of the 21 students, 11 are boys. And if we multiply the part over whole by the total number of students, 525. That's going to tell us how many boys there are, and when we simplify this here, well, as again, 525 divided by 21 is 25. And when we multiply 11 times 25, we also get 275. So this is another method here is to write the part over whole and multiply by the total number of students. And I'll tell you how many boys you have. Alright, for this second question, here we have a basketball free throw shooting contest. And the two participants are Sam and Will. And they're telling us that for every 7 shot that Sam made, Will made 9. So this is in the ratio of their shoot, 7 to 9. And we're also told that Will made 6 more shots than Sam. And we want to find the number of shots made by each of them. So think really carefully about this here. So the ratio is the first thing we got to write down 7 to 9. And this is comparing Sam to Will. But we're trying telling us is that Will made 6 more shots than Sam. So if Sam made X shots, so this is like the numbers of shots that he made in Will, then Will is gonna be X plus 6 because he made 6 more. So that's plus 6. So then we combine all this information. The ratio of Sam to Will is 7 over 9. But remember, the top part is for Sam and the bottom part is for Will. And we also thought that if Sam made X shots, Will made 6 more, made X plus 6. So to solve this equation, here, let's cross multiply. We're gonna multiply 9 times X, and that's equal to 7 times X plus 6. But just to make sure to throw in the X plus 6 in parentheses, we have to distribution here. So now let's work this out. This is 9 equal X equals 7X plus 42. Remember, just make sure to multiply 7 by X and positive 6. Now we subtract 7x on both sides and I'll write the result over here. Have 2x equals 42. So that's the result from before. It's going here. And then divide both sides by 2 and we're told that x equals 21. So if we write all this out, this tells us that Sam made 21 shots and Will made 6 more than that, and 21 plus 6 is 27. Now the only thing I would do here to check to make sure we did this is right is I want to take these values 21 over 27 and I will reduce this fraction divided by the top and bottom by 3 and you're going to get 7 over 9. So we can see here 27 is definitely 6 more than 21. And when we compare these two numbers by division, set up the ratio that's in fact simplified to the ratio 7 to 9. Okay, pretty simple overall. Alright, let's talk about rates. So a rate is a special type of ratio where the units are different. Generally speaking, when we work with rates, we're gonna be talking about unit rates. So, how much of some quantity relates to one unit of another quantity? A rate is just a ratio that usually involves a period of time. Here are some common examples of rates. 9 meter per second, 50,000 rupiah per hours, 3 meals per day. Notice that the bottom of the number in each of these ratios relate to a period of time, second, hours, days. And that's why we call them rate. Alright, so that's simple enough. But you may be wondering, where are the bottom number of all these rates 1? Can you have a rate like 1000 meters per 10 seconds or 100,000 rupiah per 2 hours? We sure could, but most of the time we have real rates like that, we want to convert them into an equivalent rate that has 1 as the bottom numbers. That's because whenever the bottom number represents only 1 unit of time, like 1 hour or 1 day, it makes completely different rates much easier. A very easy example to understand is imagine 2 cars driving at 2 different rates. The first car's rate is 120 miles per 3 hours, and the second car rate is 150 miles per 5 hours. Which car is going faster? Well, it's not all that easy to tell when the rates have different bottom number. Fortunately, it's really easy to change a rate so that it has 1 as the bottom numbers. All you have to do is divide the top number by the bottom numbers. The answer you get is the top number of the new or equivalent rates, and the bottom number is just 1. Rates like this are called unit rates because unit means 1. Alright, let's convert the rates of the speed for our 2 cars into unit rates so that we can convert them easily. The first car rate was 120 miles per 3 hours. So if we take 120 and divide it by 3, we get 40. That means that the unit rate for the first car is 40 miles per hour. The second car rate was 150 miles per 5 hours. So if we divide 150 by 5, we get 30. So the unit rate for the second car is 30 miles per hour. So you tell that the first car is going faster. Okay, let's wrap up the lesson by talking about proportion. So, a proportion basically states that 2 ratios or 2 rates are equal. Well, if we have a proportion by checking to see if the cross products are equal, so we have here that we can check to see if 2 ratios or rates are equal by using the equality test for fraction. Okay, if you don't remember, that it basically tells you that 2 fractions are equal if the cross products are equal. So as an example, we have 2 over 9 and we say this is equal to 10 over 45. We can check to see if we have a proportion here by just cross multiplying, right? Take the denominator of 1 multiplied by the numerator the other, so 9 times 10 is 90, and then the denominator of this 1 times the numerator of this one 45, this times 2 is also 90, so the cross product are equal. So we can say yes, this is a proportion, right? These two are equal. Probably check this one. So again, we want to do the cross product. So it's 5 times 28. That's gonna be 140. What's 9 times 13? That's gonna be 126. So those two are not equal. So no, this is not proper, right? So again, for this guy, we will just create the cross multiply. So 92 times 57 is 5244, and then 276 times 90 is again 5244. So the cross product here are equal. So yes, this is a proportion. What about this one? We have 9 cups of flour and 10 cups of sugar. We're saying is this equal to, we have 190 cups of flour to 81 cups of sugar. So again, just check your units. You have cups of flour and cups of flour. In the numerator, you have cups of sugar and cups of sugar in the denominator. So you just really cross multiplier. So you have 19 times 190, that will be 3610. And make that then you would have 81 times 9, which is 729. So these two numbers are not equal. So we can say no, this is not a proportion. Okay, that's all about listen today. Thank you for watching my video, and bye bye.